Doodlebomb here with another Uncharted project. This week I assembled a small metal model of Sir Francis Drake's ship, the Golden Hind. This episode is just me doing a voiceover, informing you all kinds of fun, nerdy facts about the Golden Hind in the Uncharted games, while you watch me do a super sped up version of assembling this Golden Hind model. This ship was originally called the Pelican, which we can see a nod to in Uncharted Drake's Deception because the opening bar fight scene takes place at a bar called the Pelican. The name Golden Hind was adopted in 1578 mid-voyage to honor Sir Francis Drake's patron, Sir Christopher Hatton, whose crest was a female red deer. The Golden Hind is a galleon weighing approximately 150 tons, with 12 guns on the lower deck and 6 smaller ones on the upper deck. In 1577 to 1580, it completed one of the most famous voyages in history as part of Francis Drake's circumnavigation of the globe. Upon his return, Drake was knighted by a French ambassador because if Queen Elizabeth I had knighted him for piracy, which he called privateering, but it was piracy, the Spanish would not have appreciated it, and they weren't quite at war at that time, but they soon would be. But she was present, and he was knighted aboard the Golden Hind. It was docked in Deptford as a public ship exhibit, the first of its kind. It eventually rotted away, but a complete replica was built and is now on display in London. The only remaining original pieces of the Golden Hind are pieces of wood fashioned into a throne, which is called the Drake Chair. You can actually tour it at St. Mary's Overies Dock. Is that really what it's called? St. Mary Overies Dock in London. Okay, so after reading that, I couldn't believe my notes were accurate in the name being St. Mary Overies Dock. And it is and it isn't accurate. Some listings say St. Mary Ovary Dock, and then some say St. Mary Ovaries Dock, but ovaries as in the possessive, like St. Mary Ovary ownership of dock. Anyway, so then I got into like this whole rabbit hole of trying to figure it out, and apparently ovary really just came from the phrase of St. Mary over the river because it's on the south side of the Thames. So it's not as crazy sounding a street name as I thought, but there you go. Also, there were a few replicas made, the first one being in 1947, which opened in Peter Pan's Playground and was one of the exhibits. But as the maintenance costs got higher and attendance lowered because you're seeing the same ship over and over, they ended up just closing it, and then they replaced it with a replica of Blackbeard's Queen Anne's Revenge. Another replica was made in the 1960s for the TV series Sir Francis Drake, and they did try to preserve it, but as it was being towed to get restored in 1987, it sank, and they were not able to salvage it. Another replica was made in 1973 using traditional methods, and it was sailed to multiple locations around the world over several years, off and on, and it finally came to port in London in 1996, where it's been resting at St. Mary Ovary Dock since. This was a fun little project that let me test out my overhead setup, but was also really satisfying. Just a nice little complete build, not a bunch of planning. Somebody else made the directions. It was amazing. And it's good practice for my next bigger boat build. Along with trying out my new overhead setup, this project allowed me to experiment with some ASMR type videos. I've only done one of those so far with my controller restoration, and I thought it was pretty satisfying, so I wanted to try it here too. And so in the link at the end of this video, if you're interested, there'll be the ASMR video of the full length build of the Golden Hind with some very chill waves and music and whatnot. I'd be curious to know what your thoughts are. I haven't listened to a bunch of ASMR videos because most of the ones I personally like are repair videos. So let me know if what I'm putting together is working or not. And let me know if you enjoyed the little fun history word vomit I threw at you throughout this whole video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm doing one Uncharted project every week for all of 2025, so be sure to like and subscribe to follow along. And you can grab some Uncharted inspired merch on my Redbubble or support these videos over on Buy Me a Coffee if you like. Links are in the description below.